There, this is Universal Missionary. My name's Rolando. I am doing a video for the first time in probably about 9 months, and it's been a while since I've posted something about Star Trek timelines, and I'd like to do a grand re-entrance today, and maybe I'd like to start posting videos about once a week or so. And there are a lot of changes that have been going on in Star Trek timelines, and most of it for the good. Some of it hasn't been so good, but that's part of what An Imperfect World is about. And I just want to let you know that most of the time what I do videos about upcoming events, and also that I give tips and such over how to deal with crew and battles, and then, of course, on your away missions, there are several new things that have been going on since I've last posted. Number one, your Starbases as well as your Voyages are significant. I just barely started doing videos about the Gauntlet, and I would like to do some today. I tried to do a video earlier today where I did a poll, and I would like to at least share the results of what I got, because I was trying to do it live, but the game ultimately crashed. And so one of my other goals today, if possible, is to try to see if we can get rank 1 on Admiral, just to see what you can expect to see once you hit the high points. I've gotten it before, but I'd like to see if I can share it with you on Star Trek timelines. I mean, we do deal with a lot of competition, and at the end of the day, I also want to share how everything's going in terms of the events, and maybe a few tips that we can share on how to help you do better on an event, especially on the different kinds. And today we'll focus on how to do well on a shuttle mission. Even though I'm not really doing them, I will do some later, and then I'd like to talk about the Voyages that are upcoming. So without ado, let's go ahead and get started on going over the information about what we got on our crew. And so maybe you can go ahead and give me some ideas and tips on what to suggest, on what I should share, and how we should proceed from here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to go ahead and do is just kind of share with everybody what I ended up getting. I ended up getting about 3 schematics of such. I don't know necessarily what I got, but obviously from the top right, I think what I ended up getting was just simply basic stuff, nothing that would get a new ship or upgrade for me. Although in today's video you will see an upgrade. I anticipated it earlier today. I should be getting an upgrade on the hydrogen ship that we've been working on this month for the battles and everything. So what I got today from today's poll was I ended up doing the circuses poll, and I ended up getting 2 rares, ultra rares. I ended up getting Mirror Uhura. I was hoping to get Mirror Spock, of course, and I ended up getting a Behold, which I was either between.
I don't respond well to threats.
I had the choice of either getting Mirror Tucker, the automated unit 3947, or one other particular character, and I wasn't really too impressed with any of them. But I think obviously probably the most interesting one is this one, simply because everybody likes the automated unit coming from the episode. And then of course I ended up getting, just like I said, a few rares. So ultimately, like I said, I ended up getting 3 schematics. I already have Rifle Janeway
I don't respond well to
immortalized, so I will probably end up airlocking her. I just immortalized Commander Scott, so I will end up getting him airlocked as well.
No bloody A, B,
and then I have Sniper Reed. I got Surgeon Phlox. Commander Tucker is part of what I ended up getting earlier today from the Voyages, and we'll go into that later. I guess that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and just start with today. Keeping in mind that every day I have to get every day.
I don't respond well to threats.
every day I have to get our basics out of the way. I mean, and I advise you to do them every day. Make sure that you absolutely do every day. I don't care what you got to do to get it. And then, of course, and so I'm going to be a little bit unconventional today. And let me tell you what I'm going to do and why. It's part of my strategy. And I think that at the end of the day, you might not agree with it. It's up to you. But my strategy is such that when I have a lot of crew members, I really don't really want to focus on so many crew members at one time. It gets really stressful and overwhelming. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, you can only do so much at a time. And it gives you the opportunity to save up resources so that you can focus on one at a time. And it gives you opportunity to get a lot of resources on that one item. So that way, when you do need it later, it's available. That way you don't have to scrounge around. It makes it easier for you to level a character. With that being said, what I'm doing is that I'm getting rid of a lot of these characters, even if I do need them later on. I don't want them right now, because what that means is that it gives me an opportunity to focus on the legends. And I think that the most difficult thing to do, obviously, is to work on getting legends immortalized. And so let me show you what I have. Okay, I've been working on this game for almost 2 years now, and I have only 3 immortalized legendary characters to speak of. I have the Borg Queen, which is the most powerful of all of them. I ended up purchasing a commendation to get her. I ended up purchasing 3 commendations to get Dark Ages McCoy, and he's obviously my best medicine man. And then, of course, I've got a 5-star Kortar. I picked up an opportunity to get a 5-star Kuvma, so I can work on getting an immortalized Dr. McCoy, because I already have a Klingon, and I need to have obviously a variety, you know. But Kuvma is very helpful in the sense that you do have someone with extremely high command, especially in the Gauntlet, and for Voyages, he's really helpful. I have 2-star Tempted Data,
unanticipated response to a classic
2-star Musketeer Forge, 2-star
Engineering division ready as always.
2-star Bartender Geitnan, 2-star Mobile,
The knowledge and
2-star Recruiter Board,
of the human.
and then all of my legends, the rest of them are 1-star Jedzia Dax, Lieutenant Commander Jedzia Dax, 1-star Commander Troy, 1-star Jazz Odo, 1-star, 1 out of 5-star Age of Sail Crusher, 1 out of 5-star Admiral Riker,
It is very
1 out of 5-star Russell Khan,
in space.
1 out of 5-star The Professor, 1 out of 5-star Admiral Riley, 1 out of 5-star Grover, 1 out of 5 stars Captain Sisko, Converge State Court, 1 out of 5
Con
stars
permiso, Capitán.
Q,
The hall is rented. The orchestra engaged. It's now time to
1-star
see if you
Orion,
can dance.
Orion Vina. Bear with me just 1 second. I'm lowering the volume so that way you can hear me instead of having to hear the actual game itself. And then 1-star out of 5 Captain Pike, 1 out of 5-star Gangster Kirk, 1 out of star Ushan Archer, 1 out of 5-star Klingon Janeway, and then pretty much the rest of them are a lot of 4 stars. So what we want to do is focus on getting enough honor for 50,000 to get that. So what that means is I'm getting rid of these characters right now. Okay. And I can always get them later. So I'm doing this for that particular reason. And I am going to end up keeping the Sniper Reed. He's going to be my new pet project for right now as another rare. And then, of course, I'm left with doing a few other characters here. I have them saved up because what I want to do is obviously do some shuttle missions today. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go over really quick toward the battles. I want to go ahead and do that. Today's goal for me is to see if we can do rank 1 on Admiral. Show you, it's not really that hard, but of course you have to have the right characters to do so. And I have basically to work with what I have. And so let me just collect these rewards here really quick. Okay. Here's where I get the upgrade on the hydrogen ship. Okay, and I already have the Decor Akritinian maxed out, and this is, I really like these rewards this month for that. But let's go ahead and just see if show you that right now. We're gonna upgrade on the new ship here, and from there. You will see that it'll go up to level 4. So not too bad, Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a space battle, and so let's talk about that really quick. I've got my rank is 1411, so today's goal is to reach rank 1 if possible. Okay, here's my crew. It's pretty popular to have the 4-star Aurora Penta Reed. He's really good. He has a high attack. I also have a 2 out of 5 star Scotty, and I have Jadzia Dax, the 1701 Jadzia Dax, which I may change later on. And then of course I have the Geordie LaForge. And so in these kind of battles, man, I end up fighting everybody, all ships. I've right now my most comfortable ship to work with is the HMS Bounty. And so let's go ahead and do a fight. Let's see how well I do. Okay. As the game says, timing is everything. So I'm going to show you how I battle. Pretty easy, not too bad. So that's an easy win right there. Like I said, timing is everything, so we'll go ahead and get back on later. All right. In the meantime, the next thing we want to go ahead and do is pretty simple. Let's go and do a cadet challenge. I've got them all completed every day. There isn't one that I haven't done. And of course, I don't really have time to go into this today, so I'll just go ahead and do this. And right now, I'd like to ask you for your advice today. Give me a suggestion on what crew members you use to do this one, which is the toughest one to get. This one gives you the purple ration. All the other ones will either give you the green or the blue, or the light blue purple rations. So I use this character here. I use this character here, and I almost purposely fail with this character, but she does get it done on occasion. So let me explain. That's a rare one right there that it happened, that I managed to get that. So I use Kretak. I use Deanna Troy, and then I use Rajal. Obviously, I'm looking for an alien that has science and engineering that I can use without having to fail. But it's pretty hard to find that, so right now that's all that I have. So pretty easy. Doing the cadet challenges every day guarantees you 50 chronotons. Okay, every day, and that's not including anything else that you might get from like on the other days when you do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You get 200 chronoton per day. I try to get this out of the way. I'm not going to do that today. We'll do that another time. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about the Starbase for a little bit. My strongest suggestion is definitely get into a guild or a fleet as soon as possible. You're going to do a lot better with a fleet. And then, of course, this is the name of my fleet. It's SP Cleveland. They're a great fleet. They almost always get their dailies. The one that we're still trying to do is we're trying to get the max Starbase deposits every day, and then of course we get the shuttles almost all the time as well. We're at level 31, so let's go ahead and share that really quick and talk about that. So our Starbase is we have level 6, and we're currently working on level 7. The sick bay transporter is at max. Engineering's at level 5. Astrometrics is at level 5. Armory is at level 4. Observation lounge is level 4. And ops is the lowest one at level 3. And you get the components, obviously. The game introduced the probably around August, I believe, is they introduced the Starbases. And then, of course, the components, you get them from doing the several things. You can either do the space battles or, using your chronotons. And then, of course, you do the regular away missions or the shuttle missions. I mean, not the shuttle missions, but the space battle away missions. And so, obviously, you want to try to get that because that will improve your characters. And every level you get, you can get, I believe, a max level of 7. So adding 7% to your highest totals is really helpful, especially for your voyages. And it can make the difference between you failing a voyage and not within a certain time. So I'm not going to contribute to that yet. You can contribute. You can contribute 700 units of something per day. All right, let's go ahead and go back to another one. So we're trying to get, of course, like I said, number 1. And so, we're going to hopefully wish me luck. For me, the key is going to be to try to outlast, and I didn't do so well this time. So we'll try to fight again the next time. All right. This is one thing that I'm going to go ahead and do today. Is I'm going to go ahead and get my boosting kits today. I'm going to try to save them, obviously, for the next event. But for today, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. It's advisable that if you have a lot of them, use them, of course. And so what we're going to do is pretty simple. Is we're going to go ahead and work on a few things today. I'm going to focus a lot on just simply getting a lot of hollow emitters. We need them for our guild, so we're gonna go ahead and do that here. Our our fleet. So one of the things I'm really low on is this right here, and so we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and do. We're not gonna replicate. We're gonna go ahead and do this here. I'm gonna do the 5 one, and the reason why I do this is because one of the tips I'll give you right now is try to do away missions at warp 10, obviously, and then try to do them with items that you are gonna need. This one right here, the 1-star database, is used up quite a lot, so it's extremely important that you have a lot of those every time. So we're gonna do 2 of these, so that way we can get credit for today's mission. So, and I didn't get any of those Bajoran ones. Okay, but I get 3 on this one. That's what we're trying to do. So, so let's see. So that will do. And then we're gonna go ahead and work on a lot of this for Tucker. I will share with you what the game uses a lot of, and I will tell you that right now. And one of these is this right here. The basic casings get used up all the time, as well as your basic power cells. And so always try to have several hundred if possible. And we're going to do the long distance column because that one has the these right here, and you get the best rate for having the 1-star casings, even though you don't get much of anything else. You do also get hollow emitters, so you get quite a bit. So there you go. And then let's try to get some of these right here. At this point in time, I've hit my dailies in terms of getting all the shuttle missions and everything. So we're going to try to focus on getting hollow emitters, plus we're going to focus on getting some power cells. That way we have a lot of them. They do add up. Believe me, you really do need them. Because some characters, it seems like they thrive and live off of just those things, you know? So that's my recommendation. So as you can see, it just simply makes it easier to work on your characters later on. Believe me, you can just focus on one at a time. It'll make it so much easier for you. You'll be able to get all of your crew faster, you know? So unless you spend a lot of money on this game, my best recommendation is just take it a little bit slow at a time. If you really love this game, it's really worth playing and doing it at a slow pace. I'm really behind here.
They really packed him in on these old ships.
Nope, I didn't win this time again. These guys are quite pesky, so we'll have to try again the next time. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about here today is take a little bit of time to talk about something that is just new and hasn't been discussed today, and that's our voyages. And we're at a perfect time, and let's go ahead and talk about this really quick. And voyages are a great way to pick up chronotons, as well as 1-star and 2-star characters. The object of the game, of course, for Voyages to collect as much as you can from it, depending on how long you can last on it. Obviously, you want to make sure that you bring your shuttle back, or your ship back, before you run out of antimatter. If you don't, you end up losing everything, and it has happened to me a few times. Every 2 hours, you have a dilemma that you can answer, and you have a choice, and depending on the choice, you get a reward. Sometimes you get crew members. Most of the time you do. Sometimes you don't, and that depends on the choices that you make. Some of the choices are better, depending on what choices you make. And then, of course, the longer you get on, like let's say you get on to 6 and 8 hour dilemmas, you can get 4-star crew members. 3-star crew members also come out toward maybe 4 to 6 hours, but they have been changing it to the point where it's becoming a little bit less generous in terms of what you get. And so in a few minutes I'll go ahead and discuss what your crew is, and I'll go ahead and post the stats here in just a second, what I have. So most of the time I try to go for I'm not always consistent on these, so I don't really know what the best one is, unless you know. Maybe you can suggest that on the video, but I just simply try to go with what is common sense on some of these, but I don't always go for it, because I want to try to see what rewards you get for choosing a different option. So I'm not always consistent, but the game is generally consistent on what it offers you when you make that choice, in terms of not necessarily the actual reward, but the quality of the reward. So you have to make a choice here, and usually I try to go for let's see, still thinking here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Gorn. And usually the color determines the quality of the items that you get. The yellow one is obviously the left one, which means that you get a better reward later on. So let me go ahead and move over here. And this is what I have right now. So let me go ahead and tell you what I've collected so far. It hasn't been too much, but it's a great way to pick up basic stuff. My crew, this is the crew that I have once again, and the crew, the stats on the crew is determined by, number one, your stats that you have for the character, plus 50, the average, of course, of the lowest and the highest spread for that particular skill that it has. So let's just say that Dr. Crusher has 800 medicine, and it has a 100 to 500 skill spread. So that means that the average of that is going to be 300, so it will have about 1100 stats. And then, of course, it adds it all up together, so every crew member's stats are added over the 6 skills. And then, of course, the stars that are located next to the skills, there's a silver star and there's a gold star, and the gold star indicates the most frequent use skill that is going to occur on a dilemma on the voyage. So most of the time you're going to have that one appear, you know. So right now this voyage is going to have the highest frequency medicine encounters as well as command. The next one obviously is going to be depending on it can be any one of the rest, and obviously you want to have the highest. From experience, I've noticed that you know, you will pass a dilemma within the first 2 hours if you have a minimum of 3,000 of that particular skill. Within 4 hours, you're going to probably need to have about 6,000. Within 6 hours, you're going to need to have anywhere from about 7,000 to 9,000 of that particular skill in order to pass. And so if you happen to pass it, you will get 5 antimatter added to your ship's use. If you fail it, you will lose 30. So that's quite a bit, you know, and that's how the game pretty much progresses toward its ending, you know. And so I avoided a hazard right now, so you can see I just gained 5 antimatter. And then of course somewhere along that, after you pass the dilemma, what happens is that you end up getting rewards that come in. And so usually for the first 2 hours you get one one chronoton or 100 Federation and the basic stuff, and then it just keeps getting better towards 6 hours and 8 hours. And I've heard people tell me that they can get up to about 8 to 10 4-star characters within 14 hours, but then you have to add, these people generally add dilithium to keep the voyage going. So not necessarily recommended unless you intend to spend dilithium, you know. But this is a great way to pick up tactical training as well as rations. So that's about it. I mean, on the voyages, my best advice is to try to focus on getting the highest characters. 5 stars obviously are the highest, and also try to make sure that you get characters that have those particular traits that the ship is looking for. Every day the ship that is featured has a certain skill that adds to the antimatter abilities. It increases it about 150 antimatter for the entire voyage itself. So really try to take advantage of that, using that particular ship, and also try to use the particular skill sets that the ship is requiring to get the extra 25 antimatter, which helps. But overall, what you want to do is get the crew members with the highest of all the skills, and make sure that you have, you know, all the skills covered, and make sure that you have them all high. Like right now, I'm going to suffer with science quite a bit, you know, but I did that so I can make sure I have enough on the science, not on the science, on the medicine and command. So we're going to do another battle. We're going to try to, like I said, we're trying to shoot for rank 1 on Admiral. Not necessarily easy, but, you know, we're trying. Right now, one of my goals is to try to see if I can get Scott maxed out to so once again I'm really behind, but I'm trying to take advantage of the crit's abilities, and once again I failed. think I just simply need to start shopping around and looking for easier ships to beat. You know? So in the meantime, let's go ahead and just kind of discuss a little bit about what to let's talk about what you think about the polls, you know? Are you happy about the new honor system? Are you happy about what it works? I mean, it's definitely geared toward people that don't spend money on dilithium, and then partially geared for people that do spend a lot on dilithium. You know, because the game is guaranteeing everybody get legends, but then of course you have to basically pay a lot of honor to do that. And when you think about it, it takes about, you have to dump about 500 rare members in order to get a combination, or 450 to get a behold for legend. So it's all right, but I'm not too excited about that, But I mean, like I said, that's just simply how the game goes, The game is set to where it makes you spend money. And, it's only really worth it if you really enjoy this game, which I do, And then, you just simply decide and limit what you want to go ahead and do. So right now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and just simply use up all the abilities, or the trainings. And I don't need him. I already have him immortalized, so I'm just simply trying to use him so I can get what I really need. And believe me, I'm just going to end up using all of this really quick here, so we can try to get a bunch of these here. Okay, let's talk about another thing really quick. Let's talk about another thing really quick, and one of the things I want to go ahead and discuss with you really quick is this is added recently. This was added after the last video I made, and this is a great opportunity to help. This is one great decision that Star Trek made, the DB team. What they did is they not only did daily missions, but they did achievements. And so in these achievements, you have the opportunity to collect certain things that you normally would not any other way. In fact, this is the only way that free-to-play players get dilithium. The only way. And believe me, if you're not spending money on this game, I strongly suggest that you save up your dilithium from immortalizing your crew members. That is the only way you get dilithium, if you don't purchase anything. To do so would help you immensely if you save up dilithium toward buying the shuttles. And the first shuttle obviously is 650, I believe, or 750. And then of course the rest of them is the 2500. Really try to save up, but you do need to get a lot of crew members to do so. Right now, as you can see, I have 126 members immortalized, so I'm saving up for dilithium so I can be able to get another pull. And right now. I'm getting close to level 60, so I'm very close to getting 20,000 honor, which I will use toward getting another commendation. 2 more events and I will get 3,000, so I'm looking at getting 23,000 here within the next 2 weeks, and then that should get me within striking range of getting the another honor commendation. It's hard to rank on an event, and I haven't done that. I think the best I've done is about 250 or something like that, which I don't care. I mean, I really don't. I mean, but eventually I'd like to. One thing that I'm constantly working on that's going to help me at some point in time is completing the gauntlet rounds, and then of course I have yet to reach rank 1 on the gauntlet, but it is hard to get rank 1 on gauntlet if you don't have the best characters, and I have above average. I don't have the best, but you know, that's just the way that is. As you can see, I'm about 2/3 of the way to getting level 60 from 59, so once I do that, that's really awesome. So this time I'm kind of shopping around to see. Let's try this guy. See if I do better this time. You know.
Soda pop. Well, this is a drink for a man.
They really packed them in on these old ships.
Finally, so took a while to finally win. So we're at rank 423, so we're getting pretty close, so we'll be within striking range here. Okay, I need to equip an item on a crew member. We'll go there really quick. Let's take a few moments to discuss a little bit about the shuttle missions. So let's talk about that really quick. Not the shuttle missions, but the actual events in terms of the away missions. The best thing that you need to do while you have a chance is definitely try to do all the away missions. Get all the rares. The rares will help you on getting all the away missions. And so let's talk about the ones that I haven't really done. They're very few. Just to talk about the basics, every away mission has 3 tier levels: normal, elite, and epic. And there are the basic rewards that you get every time, or that you should be getting every time, and then of course there's the one-time rare rewards that appear. And so this one is probably missing, I believe. For the rare reward is the 4-star emitter crystal. And obviously what you need to do in order to succeed in these is you have to have the appropriate skill level and the appropriate skill that the rare requires. So like in this one, I need an investigator, and so I have an investigator, but he's not yet good enough for me to hit that. So and once you get him, I strongly suggest that you go ahead and complete it. Try to get these rares, because later on you can do the warp 10s, and then that just simply makes it easier to collect the things that you need instead of having to go through an away mission all the time. So and so it's really helpful. I mean, like I said, getting to the point where you can do an away mission gives you extra captain experience, which allows you to level up faster. And then of course I've pretty much got everything in terms of all the quests done, but I haven't gotten all the rares on all the events. So definitely take advantage when a new one has come out. Star Trek Timelines hasn't yet done any new ones. There are 7 levels. They just recently added the distress calls to the Klingon Empire. And then of course they have the distress calls Delphic's Expense and distress calls Celestial Temple. You know, a lot of these characters require certain skills that are really hard to find, and the game is making it easier to get those particular characters, but for a long time you couldn't get those characters. This is especially useful and especially critical on the cadet missions. You know, let's go back really quick to the cadet missions. These cadet missions require that you have certain skill sets, you know, and certain qualities every day. These require that you have basically aliens, not necessarily male, not necessarily female, just aliens or half aliens that have rare status. What I try to do to save space and maximize my crew best is to have females, because a lot of these events require females, and they require female aliens, and so they're the best ones. Aliens are good, and then of course Federations are okay, but then not necessarily useful, you know, in just about anything else. So one of my tactics in this game is to try to have one of my tactics in this particular game is to try to have characters from all of the different factions. The higher the rarity level, the better. And then of course the more popular ones that you really want to have are any characters from the Next Generation series. Klingons, Jadzia Dax, Janeway, Kirk and Spock. And those are some of the best ones to have characters overall. Vulcans in general. Sometimes Ferengi. And sometimes Borg. But Borg is not a faction listed in here, although it should be. I would recommend that they should add that. And then, of course, Odo, that's part of the Dominion and Changeling. He gets chosen a lot for selections, as well as Kira. But let's talk about something really quick, and let's talk about the events that are going on today. They're having the Akritinian job, and the Akritinian job is the event that's going on. And of course, what we want to go ahead and do is something really quick. We want to go ahead and get into this event. I'm not really doing too well. Let me tell you how I'm doing. I'm in 15,000th place, and the reason is that I really don't want these characters right now. I'm really trying to save up a lot of resources, plus a lot of the shuttle missions, simply to get specifically enough resources to do really well on an event. And so the best thing to do is to try to save up on your shuttle missions, and we're going to go ahead and do those really quick. We're going to go ahead and do the Federation ones because I really am low on Orchids and Ancient Film. And so we're going to go ahead and choose these characters. Bear with me just 1 second. I've got to move some of these here. It's a little bit tricky. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shoot for double rewards. And I mean, I get a 78% chance, and this game can be really a hassle when it comes to trying to get success on these events, because you can have a 95%. Some people have even complained about having 99% and they fail the mission. You obviously want to have the best one, and so let me give you a tip on these events. Number one, while you are working on an event, if you want to really be successful on these kind of missions, number one, have 4 shuttles going on all the time. At the beginning, try to use the timers to help you get more shuttles in there. And then work on, if you don't purchase any of the crew members or anything, try to work on what the game gives you. And here you have Reed, and he gives you the highest bonus besides the other members, which is Delta Flyer Paris, Kira. Any version of these characters will help you. And then of course, what you want to do, of course, is while you have a chance, is try to get them immortalized as soon as possible, so that way you can take advantage of their benefits while you're doing the event. It will help you to be successful faster. My approach is different when it comes to Galaxy class. Where you do the contributions. Since they have community rewards, you obviously want to try to take advantage of going as high as you can and getting all the rewards, so you can get a lot of the characters and everything. On the community event, you can get 1 4-star ultra rare character immortalized during that event. And they haven't done an expedition one where their stats go down. And I miss those. Those are the best ones. But Star Trek hasn't done those in a long time.
It is very cold in space.
Okay. So I will let this go for tonight in terms of the event. As you can see, in less than an hour, I've already done 7 out of 10 of the daily missions. And I just simply need to do 2 more cadet challenges, and then we're good to go. Okay, so as you can see, I'm hitting rank 24 on these. Let me go ahead and fight this guy. Sometimes I think, in my opinion, the Ixtong is a new battleship, which I thought was really going to be exciting. But it seems like their bark is worse than their bite, but we'll see. Nope, I didn't do so well on this time. That was weird, man. I couldn't see the stats on this. So I have 4 chances to get rank 1. And I will go ahead and finish as soon as I can get it. If I don't get it, we'll try another time. In the meantime, we can go ahead and talk about what kind of ships you guys use. A lot of you have gone out of the way to purchase the new Shenzhou ship. And then of course some of you guys have some of the other ones, like the NX-1 from Star Trek. You know. And many of you use the Borg Cube, you know. Everybody has different tactics, and if you'd like, man, I'd like to hear your viewpoint on what you think is the best ship and why, and what crew members you use and why. You know, it's a great way to go ahead and discuss what you guys do. I think that I'd love to hear about it. I haven't had the chance to talk about it because if I do, then I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to really look too good in terms of what I share. You know, my tactics may not necessarily be sound. I mean, I think they are, but you know, that's the thing. That's what everybody's wanting to talk about. It's, you know, people want to say, well, my tactic is the best, and then they say why, and I'm like, well, all right. I have a lot of programs, man, that I don't really want to be. So right now I have 6,372 honor. I need 43,000 in order for me to get. In order for me to get 50,000. Alright, let's try it one more time. Wow, I can't believe I almost didn't win. So my rank is number 3. So we're almost there. 2 more spots away. 3 more chances. We're almost done today. And so I just simply am going to try to look for a few I've got to look for a specific one that I want to go ahead and do. I'm looking at trying to get some 3-star casings, which are pretty hard to pick up, man. And it's not this one. Let's try number 4. We want to try to do that because what I'm looking at trying to pick up is I'm trying to look at trying to get that taken care of so we can have enough of those items. The 3-star casings get used up a lot. And I can't seem to find it. Normally it uses up 18. This one is, so 18 will probably end up using up 15. But I can't find it. It's, I believe, pirates. So it's not that one. So we'll try to go with 6. No, it's not that one. Try to do 7. Try to do the middle one. I don't think it's this one either. Nope. It's not that one either. Let's try to do distress calls. It could be distress calls. It's not this one either. Doing the Celestial Temple one. Here we go. This is the one we want to go ahead and do. We're going to do a couple of these because I'm trying to go for the 3-star casing. So here we go. So we've used up everything, and so we've got that, and that's about it. So I've used up most of my energy, and so okay, it's all or nothing on this one. And there you have it, guys. That is achieving rank 1 on this video. Check it out, man. It says you are unchallenged at rank 1. Savor your victory or select another division. Okay? And so it's not always easy, but I try to choose these characters because, number 1, they give you, in terms of accuracy, they have a lot of accuracy. So let's talk about that really quick, and then we're done for today. And so number 1, I choose Scotty because he has a lot of accuracy. And he also has a lot of crit rating and a lot of evasion as well as the crit bonus. Once again, I choose Dr. LaForge because he has a lot of accuracy. He has some crit rating, but he also has a lot of evasion. Right now I have Rua Penta Reed because he has he has high attack, he has some accuracy, and he also has some a little bit of evasion, not much, but his strength is attack. For Jadzia, I choose her because she has a lot of accuracy and evasion. When you add the individual stats, you're going to be adding that to the HMS Bounty's stats with the attack power. The accuracy power is added on to the stats. So, and then of course the evasion power is also added to that. And then of course its crit rating is added. So when you add, it's important to have crit ratings, and so the crit rating can give you up to 15 to 20%. I have about 15% crit rating, which means it takes, I have a 15% chance of hitting a critical. And when you have a high attack speed, that makes it even better. I've learned that having defense or evasion helps to withstand a lot of these battles. So even if you get hit really hard, if you can outlast them. And then of course, Geordi has a 5% hull regeneration, which means that you get some of your regeneration back, and it makes a big difference. A small difference, but it's enough to help you. If you're not prepared, you can really catch people off guard. Of course, I've been caught off guard a lot of times from people that actually have really good instant hits. I mean, they can hit you for 300 to 400% of what it is, and of course, if they have really high accuracy, you can get hit and you can get destroyed without even being able to fight back. So I mean, one hit can take you out instantly, and so some of these characters really do have a great skill set. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and sign off. And I would like to ask you if you'd like to subscribe. I know it's pretty long, but I'm hoping I can get a good following. I'll try to make these videos a lot shorter, but this is kind of like a welcome back to Star Trek Timelines videos. I'll try to do them once a week, probably about 10 to 15 minutes at best, and I'll try to make them exciting. Okay, give me your feedback, subscribe, and thank you for watching.